Hey everybody, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
And this is Walking Dead episode 77. We've got another special edition for you. We're just pumping them out like crazy. Sort of like Herschel with Magic Shotgun. And so we're going to have Scott Wilson on in just a minute here, and Karen and I just finished our interview with him. And what were you saying about him? He's very contemplative.
Yeah, he's a contemplative, you can tell. He's from Atlanta, Georgia, and I grew up there, and it really comes through. He's kind of like Herschel.
Yeah, totally. I forgot to ask him about that. I mean, I have a lot of questions, but he's from Atlanta, and I wonder if that helps him appreciate being on the show even more. But I'll keep wondering just so you know, because I didn't ask him that. But we did ask him a lot of good stuff. I think that's pretty good interview, right?
I think so too.
Okay, so stay tuned for Scott. Good. Is it okay if I call you Scott?
It's perfectly all right. My mother does.
Hi, Mr. Wilson. This is Karen. Hi again.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So we're really happy to be talking with you. I have a lot of questions for you about Herschel and The Walking Dead. The one thing that I was most interested about is we've talked to other actors and they say that they get creeped out by the zombies on set. Some of them do anyway. But I was wondering with you in particular, since when Herschel's first introduced, he has a very different viewpoint of the zombies, and a lot of the characters he still sees them as having humanity. So did that carry over to you when you saw those zombie extras shambling around? Did you think of them more as people or as monsters?
Well, I think from the first episode that Herschel was in last season, indeed, in the live Herschel's farm, he had a very clear idea of what the three walkers were. He was doing the best he could to hoping that somebody would come along and revive them and make them human again. If he believed he was living again, we thought they would. But I think he learned. I think episode 8 of that season was a revelation for him as to the type of world they were living in. You remember there was a scene in the swamp where Rick and Jamie and Herschel were down at these two walkers stuck in the water, and he said, "That's Lou.
Yeah.
She has a farm up the road," and he spoke it. He mentioned that in present tense. She has a farm up the road. So it isn't she has a farm up the road.
Yeah.
So she still believes that there's something meaningful with. I think that changes right after that, and I think it forever altered Herschel's point of view. And I think that scene at the farm certainly impacted every member of the cast, every person that's trying to survive. I think that was a watershed moment.
Totally. Yeah. Especially when Shane shot, I think it might have been Lou or one of them in the chest several times.
Blue, yeah. Blue. I mean, that's just Herschel, came to the realization at that moment.
So do you find yourself just as Scott Wilson carrying that same shift when you look at the zombies?
Scott Wilson. Scott Wilson is a fan of the show.
Okay.
Scott Wilson loves to sit back when I'm not involved in the scene and watch the other characters work and do their thing, do their magic, and I love to watch the zombies. I mean, it's just incredible how many different personalities we have with the zombies. How they're into the ingenious ways that they're done away with. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And his group.
I have the distinct honor of having my own head exploded by your shotgun. I was on the set for the finale last year.
No, that's what you didn't know. You get your name out of a shotgun in my head, and hands are dead.
That's right. And the funny thing is, as an extra, they're like, who wants to get shot? And everybody, crowds around me.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I tell you, I really respect you guys to get out there and do that. That's it's easy. Sometimes it's really hot and you're out there all day, and last year it was cool at night, and out there in the elements, and with all that makeup on and everything, and not a lot of clothing.
Yep.
So it's just, you guys all make a show. I mean, for people doing that, I don't know what show would be. It's really great.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was a full honor. It was great. So Herschel's a man of God. Is Herschel still a man of God now that all this is happening?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think that, he isn't an evangelist. He's someone who jumps up on the soapbox and does that. But I believe that he probably is still basically a person I think is basically challenging anyone with the apocalyptic type situation. So it'll be interesting for me to see if he survives if that does become part of research, so to speak.
Yeah, and what's really interesting to me about Herschel's character is he's lost everything, his family, most of his family, his farm, and now his leg. But I see that you're still playing him with this kind of a wise dignity, and especially with women, someone that they can come to and confide in. And I'm just wondering if it's natural for you to still, or for Herschel to still be that grounded after everything that's happened.
Well, I think Herschel's overriding concern is the survival of his daughters. And Rick is, Glenn is really part of his inner circle family. But I believe everyone that is surviving there has become a family unit.
Well, we have these listeners right in, and one of those Tracy asked about, speaking of family and daughters, she wanted to know if you had any daughters in real life, the interaction between Herschel with Maggie and Beth seems really natural.
Well, that's because Maggie and Beth are such wonderful actors. It's really a pleasure working with them. In real life, no, I don't have any daughters. But I think I've reached an age where people can look at me as a grandfather, or great-grandfather, or father, or son.
Yeah, especially when Lauren Cohan and you, Emily King too, those scenes are especially good. And we particularly like the one where you're with Beth and you're singing the Doodle Bug song. Was that scripted?
Naturally, no. I think that Doodle Bug song was something that was improvised. But that's a rarity. Most everything is written. The writers are sensational on the show. They're really fantastic.
Yeah. Is that something you came up with? Is that, one of our listeners actually said that her grandfather calls her Doodle Bug, I think, and maybe it's a thing in the South.
Well, it is actually. I remember when I was a kid, and we used to be playing in my grandparents' house. It was kind of up on bricks. They had these little funnel type holes in the sand in South Florida. You take a little stick of money around and say, Doodle Bug, go away home. Blah, 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 blah. And so I remember that, and I thought, for that.
That was awesome. A little change of subject. Did you guys get briefed somehow, or was it scripted for you? What happened during this time jump between the seasons over the winter, so you kind of know where your character was at?
Actually, no, in terms of what the time lapse was going to be. But I, on the last episode of the last season, said, I'm not going to cut my hair until the start of the next season. And I can always cut it off. So I started letting it grow, and I started letting the beard grow. And when I got there, everyone said it works because it's a big time lapse.
That was just a coincidence.
Well, it was a coincidence, but it was a thought out coincidence. It wasn't, I said, I don't know how much time will pass. So I'm going to let this happen. Again, you can always cut it off. So it was, it happened to work very well. It happened to fit in. So now I guess I can play Santa Claus.
That's right. Yeah. We've had more than one listener write in and say exactly
that.
Yeah,
I forget.
But they like it. People seem to like it.
Right.
It looks cool.
But again, back to what we were saying earlier about his daughters. Yes, I think he lives for his daughters, and I think he lives for the rest of the group as well. I think I think the entire group have become a family unit. And I think that, after the last episode of last season, where Rich said he was going to take responsibility for the group, they all stepped back and allowed him to do that. And I think they survived as a result of that.
Does he care for everyone? Is there anyone he doesn't care for?
I think he does. I think to me that's one of the fun things about playing Herschel. Is that he is able to see the qualities that are very useful. At the same time, he may recognize where someone may be not doing what you would prefer them to do.
Sure, like any family.
Like any family. You're going to be not happy with everything your family does all the time. You're going to take exception to some things that your family do. Every time you're going to say, I wonder why that person's so great.
And what do you think Herschel wants for his daughters now?
Well, I think probably what everyone in the group wants. They want some stability. They want a place where they can spread out and experience some of these finer things.
Like
in life, simple. Like prison. But at prison, we got this beautiful song from Emily.
Yeah.
That was kind of uplifting and Maggie joined in. I think it was good for the whole group to hear that, because that's it's one of the few scenes where you see characters having a life outside of just absolute survival.
good moment in the episode too. I mean, it's good for as a viewer to have it be dynamic like that, where you get a little rest and a little softness in between all the beheadings and stuff.
Yeah. It was good for the, I think, for the viewer, and it was good for the group.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good for the group to have this get back and let them know, remind you of that there is something to fight for, even the simple things like enjoying the song. I use T-Dog is talking about the warrior, they can find a lot of Herschel's talking about planting crops, and so their dreams. So I think, the group still have dreams, and they still have hopes and aspirations. And I suppose if you didn't have dreams and hopes and aspirations, you just sit down and give up.
Right.
So as long as those hopes and dreams and aspirations and there's a baby on the way, and with all the concerns that brings, there's a lot of potential and a lot of directions on that.
Yeah. I mean, I would think it'd be tricky with the show to not just get so depressing that you're like, man, why don't they just give up? Especially now. I mean, the whole farm season. In retrospect, it's such a stark contrast now that I almost find myself missing it. I mean, not story wise because it's more exciting now, but it just seems like such a paradise now. Do you ever find yourself missing it?
That's what I was thinking. Herschel Farm's going to be back on the little Marcel, I believe.
Yes, for sure. So I want to talk a little bit about recent developments. Was it tough, or what was it like filming the whole scene with the leg? I imagine that there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but I wonder if still it was a little freaky to see your own leg chopped off.
Well, I wouldn't let him do it. It had come to me to go back.
That's nice.
But it was quite a day, and that was quite an undertaking. It was a lot of takes. It wasn't just one take. It's just like when first told me, first told me that they went cut my leg off. I thought, well, okay, there goes Herschel.
Right.
But in fact, he's right. Up to this point, he's right. And it was a very high energy, interesting day as an actor. You have the other actors, Andrew and Norman and Ron Cohen and Steve Newman, you have these groups, and it was a bit. Again, it's really striking how everyone went into action, rallied around Herschel, took him down the hallway, walked into this room, and ended up in the cafeteria, and threw him down. And it was like, that's why I mean, like a family. It's more than a lower machine family. Everyone rallied back then, and boom, the leg goes. And then I think the scene after that, I love it. I had no doubt about it. It was terrific because, again, it showed the closeness of the entire group. And also the fears. Is he going to survive? Is he not going to survive? Will he walk? Will he not be? It showed, but there was a love for Herschel that came out. And I thought that was very cool. They really wonderful actors, everyone else.
We had this contest on our show, who was going to be the first to die, and all the listeners wrote in and guessed, and I have to say, I think most people guessed Herschel, and I did too, mostly because they weren't showing you in any of the previews, and I know too that you were scheduled to go at the end of last season and they changed their mind, so are you surprised to still be around?
Well, I mean, am I still around?
That's true. We only seen,
was that a trick question?
No, well, I assume you're in this weekend's episode, because that's all we know for sure.
Yeah, well, also, this whole season is going to be, if I mean it or not, like I said, I'm on the show. The trick is going to be opened up and, shown and governed, with there, all that stuff's going to be very exciting, I think.
Yeah, I'm really not trying to get you to reveal anything, so we don't want spoilers. I just, and I guess that means I can't ask what everyone else, which is, I want to know things about, like, what does it mean to as an actor to play a newly disabled person and all this, but I guess I can't really go into it right now. We don't know for sure how much longer he's around, but let me just put it this way, are you surprised that Herschel has lived up to this point?
Personally, I don't really take Herschel's demise into consideration. Things happen, and if they happen, they happen.
Okay.
But I haven't worried about it. I'm more concerned with the moment at hand, what's taking place now, and trying to, and how to do that up over a period of time, and then making Herschel watching him evolve and grow, but at the same time still being Herschel. So I mean, I think the writer's done a terrific job with everyone.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's also it's a kind of a sad show deal too when you see such wonderful talent get killed off like last season.
Yeah, Jeffrey DeMunn.
Yeah.
And John Bernthal, yeah.
May I ask a question a little off topic? One thing I have to tell you, Scott, is that I love you in movies that you've been in. Particularly, I love you in Walking, and also I recently saw Junebug, and Junebug is an amazing film. I just love it.
Yeah. I love it.
It is. And so I want to know if you're, in addition to the TV show, if you're also still making movies.
Well, I would hope that will happen.
Yeah, me too.
There are some things that are up in the air, but we'll see if the timing schedule and all that stuff works. I love movies. This show is a new experience for me, actually, because most of my career has been film.
Right.
I've done some television, but not like last season where I was in every episode. And it's really interesting to see how the character evolves over a period of time. In a movie, you have one script that's about 2 hours in length, a little shorter, maybe a little longer. And so you see that's the entirety of the character, what's there. And in this, you're looking at a new script, a new episode every 8 days and working days, and you're seeing how the character evolves, and it's more exciting in a way. But I still love movies.
I get the feeling too, though, that I think I've heard this from other actors, maybe, that filming The Walking Dead is, at least with the style of filming and everything, is a little closer to a film than a lot of TV shows.
Well, I would say it's remarkable what they do.
Yeah.
I think really remarkable. In 8 days, in essence, they're shooting a movie.
Yes.
I mean, it is a 2-hour movie.
Right.
But some of these scenes, particularly the action scenes, that would take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to shoot. And some of these things, it would take a lot longer to shoot somewhere else. But this crew is phenomenal, too. Not only are the actors always ready to go, which is terrific, I love that, but the crew is always ready to go, too. They're not, they're working to get the day in. It's really a great relationship. It's a great experience to work on. Every actor, particularly young actors, have this experience so they can see how they can pull together and can do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just when I did that one shoot as an extra, it just seemed so well organized, and they could turn on a dime and shoot a scene really quickly and have cameramen and everything rush right over to do it. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I just have a couple more quick questions for you before we wrap. I was wondering if you saw the eulogy that the other cast members did for your leg.
What did you
think about that?
I got a big laugh out of it. I mean, it was interesting.
And do you know about this kind of thing that's going around on the internet about Herschel's magic shotgun?
That was from last season. Yeah. The last episode was I heard about that. I don't follow that stuff a lot, but I did hear about it. There was a lot of interest in how many shells the shotgun know.
Right. So when you how does it feel to have this whole fan base kind of reacting like that?
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Cool.
I went to was in a restaurant the other night, and the owner chef of the restaurant came out and said, "Oh, see, you got your leg. It's just in car. He loved it. I mean, he got a big reaction.
Nice. Okay, Karen, do you want to?
Yes, we have one rule for people who come on our show, and that is everybody needs to make a zombie sound.
Oh, okay. Zombie sound. Cool.
That's good.
That's really good.
It's a little, no, I think that sounded a lot like a Walking Dead zombie.
Not only that makes you me. I don't know what you can kill, but
We got every cast member to make that sound, so don't worry.
Yeah, most of them are still
You're
around.
fine.
Not all of them. Most of them.
No.
In fact, here, I'll give you some other zombies. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but here's Stephen Yeun. Here's Andrew Lincoln. One more. Let's do a girl. How about Lauren Cohan?
That's freaky.
Yeah.
All right, what does mine sound like?
Oh, I have to put it in my little zombie keyboard. I'll send it to you afterwards. How about that? But I'll tell you right now, I think you sounded a lot more like the normal Walking Dead type zombies, except there was a little chuckle at the end, so maybe it was a little happier. Yeah. But Scott, I just want to thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure to have you, and we really appreciate it. I can't wait to see what happens with Herschel season.
Thank you, Scott.
Well, cool. It's been fun. Take care.
Good. Okay. Take care.
You too.
Stay away from zombies.
All right.